Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute and I wanted to kind of explain why. Um your girl has another diagnosis under their belt. I've just been diagnosed in the past week. I think we're going on a week that I have been diagnosed with endometriosis. So I thought it would be a fun idea to talk about that diagnosis while I clean the bathroom, because that has to be done today. Because I've noticed you guys like me doing vlog style more than you like me doing sit down videos. I can do sit down videos, I'm totally fine with that, but I've noticed if I put them together, you guys enjoy that much more. So today is a vlog style as I tell you about my endometriosis diagnosis. Yeah, it's a mess in here. So yeah, the endometriosis diagnosis sort of caught me completely off guard. I was not expecting that diagnosis at all. I just was like, hey, my period and symptoms have drastically changed over the years. What's going on with that? Not my pediatrician, my main family doctor was like, oh, interesting. We also did blood work in November and noticed that I had low iron. And so she was like, do you have heavy periods? And I was like, yes. And my mom was like, oh, yeah. Because I've lived with periods all my life. So, I just thought what I had and how I deal with it is sort of normal. But apparently my periods are quite heavy for what they are. So she's like, hey, have you thought of birth control? And I'm like, I don't really know. I'm a little iffy about that. I'm a little iffy on the birth control, that sort of thing. She's like, okay, you have low iron, your periods have changed, and you have heavy periods. Let's go to a gynecologist. So we go to the gynecologist, and I start telling her symptoms like, hey, even when I'm not on my period, I seem to be getting stomach issues. I didn't realize they weren't stomach issues, they were actually period cramps. And I was experiencing them even when I wasn't on my period. I thought I was having GI issues. I had 2 attacks of these episodes, both on a vacation. And one of the episodes, I almost passed out at an airport, and it was severe pain. I would get severe pain on my right side, very low. And I thought, oh, I just really have to go to the bathroom. That's all I thought it was. Back to my story. So I tell her these sort of symptoms I'm having, and these attacks come on really weirdly. They come right before my period. Period pain's really bad. I've always grown up with heavy periods. Didn't think much of it. And I told her, she'd be like, well, how many times do you have to change? And I was like, well, when I used tampons, I had to use super, and I had to, on my heaviest days, had to change those every 2 hours. And she's like, that's a lot. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, that's not normal. And then I'm also using something called the Diva Disc. Absolutely love it. But yet again, on my heaviest days, I have to change it about every hour and a half to 2 hours. She was like, that's also not normal. That's quite heavy. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah. And I had no idea. But I think we should think about doing an ultrasound just to see if there's anything wrong going on that we might be able to see on images. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. We do the ultrasound. I absolutely hate doing it. It sucks. I hate doing the ultrasound because you have to drink a large quantity of water, and I am a tiny human. It is agony to have to wait to be called. And then they use, obviously, the ultrasound wand to push all around your bladder, and you really have to pee. It's horrible. It's one of my worst tests that I've ever got done. And it turns out they find a cyst on my right ovary. And we're like, oh, okay. That can be one of your problems. Let us see if it gets bigger after 3 months. Yet again, she goes, hey, we can do birth control to help maybe lessen your period. And I was still iffy, and I had done a ton of research on Nexplanon. And I realized one of the things that Nexplanon can do is cause more cysts on said ovaries. And I was like, I don't know, let's wait yet again. I was like, let's wait 3 months and then maybe decide. And so that's that. She said, okay, you can do that. By the way, she's very, very accommodating with this. She doesn't make me feel bad. She's super sweet. She's made me very comfortable with all of this. She hasn't made me feel bad or if I'm doing anything wrong. She's been awesome. We don't even get to wait. We don't even make it to 3 months before I start noticing I'm having pain in my right side all the time, even if I'm not on my period. I do notice that 2 to 3 days before my period, I'm getting horrible period symptoms that if I don't take painkillers, I will be in bed for a number of hours just trying to get through this horrible feeling of pain. My pain feels like I have to go to the bathroom really badly, but I don't end up going. That's kind of my symptoms to it. So we do the ultrasound less than 3 months. So they find the cyst has gotten much bigger. It was, I don't know what it was the first time we did the ultrasound, but the second time it had grown much larger, and it's basically I have a baseball sitting on my ovary. Yeah, it's an ovarian cyst. A baseball-sized something. And the doctor was like, oh, that grew a lot. We're gonna send you to an MRI. And then booked the MRI, which was a pain in the arse. But my mom, as my amazing advocate, was awesome at getting me in. This is a different MRI than I am ever used to. The MRIs that I have done have always been brain scans, because I've done research testing when it comes to FASD and my brain. This was going to be my abdomen, so it was going to be very, very different. What was different about this MRI is I had to get an IV access because they had to do contrast. But it was absolutely fantastic. They were amazing about it. The nurse who did my IV access was amazing. It was absolutely great. And a lot of people who say when they get an IV contrast, They say it feels like you're gonna go have to pee yourself. I did not feel like that at all. I didn't even feel it when they injected me with anything while I was in the machine. So that was great. Everything went well. It took about like 20-30 minutes to do the scan. And I was a little nervous because you're in an enclosed tube, although some MRIs are fully enclosed and some are not. Mine was a 2-hole exit, which means you go in and you can come out the other side as well. I think I've been in MRIs where it's only one entrance and it's closed at the back. So it was kind of nice to, like, if I really tipped my head back, I could see the outside of the room. So that made me feel a little better. They had to put some sort of screening or something on my abdomen. It was kind of like when you get an x-ray. So that was really uncomfortable on my cyst, and I was like on the edge of telling the technician to be like, you need to stop because this is painful. But I was like, you know what, if I do that, then they have to stop, and then I have to go through this all again, or it just take longer to do. So I kind of just laid there and just hoped that it was over very soon. Camille, that machine is so loud, and people with FASD can have really sensitive hearing, and that can trigger sensory issues. How did you do? I was really nervous about it. Because I've done previous MRIs and I've done it at a children's hospital. So I was like really concerned that they were gonna be like, since this is an adult center, they were gonna be like, suck it up, just deal with the noise. But thankfully enough, I did have headphones. The headphones were huge, because small human over here, but it was enough that I could handle the noise. So that was really good. Now we finally get to the part of the diagnosis. What did the MRI say? What did it pick up? Can it pick up endometriosis? Well, drum roll please on the toilet, I guess. The MRI picked up what is called an endometrioma. Basically, what they found was a blood-filled cyst. That's what an endometrioma is. And it's also called this is gross, a chocolate cyst. And it's basically old blood and other things. And so that is indicative of endometriosis. Yay! An endometrioma is indicative of endometriosis. This was a diagnosis that I was mentally not prepared for whatsoever. I never thought in a million years that I'd have something that is so painful and can really affect someone's quality of life. This wasn't even on my radar. My gynecologist had talked about it. She's like, oh, we're gonna look for endo and a cyst. my brain went, oh, we found a cyst. It just must be a cyst. That's what I thought it was. Did not think it was going to be endometriosis. Look at this beautiful bathroom. Still figuring out how to use this stupid thing. Look at it. So much better than before. Yay, we are done with the bathroom. Yes, we got it done. Applause for us. Now to continue on with my endometriosis story. So, what is the treatment for me? She gave me a prescription of something called Aspen Dynogest, which are progesterone tablets. And I've already been taking them. This is my second week with them. These are what they look like. Tiny little pills. And they are supposed to help with endometriosis symptoms, help with the lessening of growth of endometriosis, and sometimes it can stop your period. My period is a week late, so I don't know if these are connected. They could be, probably, maybe. I don't know. The second thing I'm gonna have to get done is probably surgery to take out the giant cyst on my ovary. That is the next step in all of this. Guys, I might have lied. We're not done cleaning bathrooms. Welcome to the tiny powder room of the first floor that I'm gonna make you all sick. The tiny powder room that I need to clean. Oops. So, how has this diagnosis made me feel? I'm a little bit shooketh, as you might say, because, like I said before, I was not prepared for this diagnosis. I thought I had very mild symptoms when we were talking about endometriosis. You know, one of the more painful conditions you can have. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Nope. Could not be me. Not at all. And it's just kind of been frustrating after now this is my 4th diagnosis over the course of a year. 4th. I didn't know being 30 meant your body just fell the fuck apart. Yep, I feel like my body at 30 has just decided to crap out. Absolutely crap out. Doesn't want to function anymore. It's just like, hey, we're going to give you all these autoimmune, sleeping conditions. Endometriosis could be new studies have shown it might be an autoimmune condition or inflammatory condition. So that would chalk up to my stomach condition, because that is also an autoimmune condition. So who knows if my immune system just decided to tag team it up this year. Just tag team. Yep. Thank you so much. And now I've been diagnosed with endometriosis by MRI showing endometrioma, which is an indicative of endometriosis. You normally don't have an endometrioma without having endometriosis. The surgery that I'm probably going to get, hopefully soon, will do a biopsy and it will confirm, but yeah. A little bit tired of all these diagnoses. To say that I'm tired of all these like little diagnoses, you would be right. I'm a little bit tired and a little bit shocked and a little bit scared of what everything has to offer for the future. I'm sure I'll be okay. Hopefully medication will do what it's supposed to do. And we are going to go probably to someone who specializes in eating well, nutritionist, but like someone a little bit better than that for my my autoimmune atropic gastritis. Because we want to figure out like what should I eat, what should I not eat, what sort of things make it worse or better. So hopefully we'll do that in September. Medication on board for my endo. I have sleeping stuff for my sleep disorder. My sleep apnea is so low that it's not a concern right now. Hopefully it stays like that forever, but probably not. So everything's like baseline, maybe a little bit. And medication for my endo has helped greatly. Helped very, very much. Because the pain was starting to get a problem. That's what's been going on in my life. And it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I'm holding on for dear life. But thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys!